The ultimate guide to playing Kuzan in OP14. Hello and welcome to the table, and today I am back with a OP14 deck tech video for One Piece. Today, talking about Kuzan, and let's talk about the game plan for Kuzan super quick, which is simply put, playing a bunch of giant monsters, 8Ks, 7Ks, all that kind of good whatnot, and making sure that they stick around so you keep your opponent overwhelmed with a bunch of big old bodies, and then making sure that you don't get bricked up in hand, making sure that you cycle away all those bricks, not all of them, but a lot of them, so you have a good amount of 2K counters, some 1K counters here and there, and not just a ton of stuff that doesn't counter for anything. But getting past the main game plan of the deck, what exactly does Kuzan himself do? What does the leader himself do? Well, he is a 5-life, 5K blue leader that when a card is trashed from your hand by a Navy type card's effect, you actually get to draw cards equal to the number of cards trashed this way. So let's say you have something that draws you a card, then trashes you a card. Sure, you're trashing a card, but you get a card right back. So you're basically just cycling away a card from your hand for free every single time something is trashed from your hand, because the only stuff that is going to trash cards from your hand is Navy cards, which is super duper awesome. But then, getting into the main deck itself, there's a couple of different categories of cards. The first one being Searchers. You got some really good Searchers in this deck, like TCG, which the classical Searcher looks at top 5, you get 1. Sure, that's fine. But there's also Sakazuki, which is an incredibly good Searcher that, sure, it costs 3, but you get to get 2 cards through searching with this guy instead of just 1, which is absolutely absurd. Then there's some good defensive tools in the deck like Rosinante, which I think is a really good kind of tech piece against certain decks that want to remove your stuff. Think of something like an Emu. It's like, no, I don't want you to remove my stuff. I'm actually going to keep it around thanks to this Rosinante, which is great. You also got a couple other good pieces of interaction or control or defensibility, like Gravity Blade, which can get rid of like 2 of your opponent's big threats or blockers or something like that. Ice Time, which does something similar to that. Ice Pheasant, Ice Block, Pheasant, whatever. Basically a 4K event, counter event, which is absurd. Of course, Gum Gum Red Rock, which is an absolutely absurd and insane card. You also got some good 2K counters in cards like Suru, Hina, Yan. Absolutely great 2K counters. You got some really good like kind of tech in your 2K counters too, which I think is really cool about this deck. But then getting past that, you got your big threats of the deck. And you got a lot of them. Like the new Bluegrass, which is basically a new Cavendish for the deck, a better Cavendish for the deck, and one that you can search. So all around, just an absolutely dumb and insane card. Absolutely love it in this deck, and it's a 4 for 6. Can't complain about that either. Then there's also Isho, which is a brand new card in the deck. One of the best cards in the deck now. Maybe even the best minus 1 card in the deck. But this is a 7K, great start. And it's a 5 cost, which this deck desperately needs. It can bottom deck 2 of your opponent's cards, and it can help you to manage their board state. Absolutely absurd stuff going on with this guy. But then you got your big 8K bodies, which are the ones you really care about thanks to a card I'll talk about here in a second, like Kuzan, which is an 8K that freezes one of your opponent's cards. Absolutely great when you play it, of course. You got Sakazuki, which can draw you some cards and give Rest of Dawn out, which is really nice for the Isho because you need a Rest of Dawn on Isho in order for him to be able to manage your opponent's board. Super nice. But then there is the heart and soul of the deck, Monkey D. Garp. Technically, you don't need to see this guy in order to win the game, but it's super nice because this is an 8K body for 8, and when you play him, you can play another 8K body, or, something that's like a 7K or something like that. But you would rather play an 8K body. You want to play the biggest body you can. Now, sure, you can play an Isho and be perfectly happy with that, but if you play something like a Kuzan off of that, or a Sakazuki off of that, you'd be pretty happy too. But Garp is absolutely incredible in this deck. But that is the deck itself. It is an absolutely incredible deck. It is a super duper fun deck in OP14, super budget friendly, and here's the full deck list if you want to check it out. I think it's an absolutely fun deck. I personally don't have Gum Gum Red Rock because I'm trying to get rid of those before they rotate coming in April. But if you want to play, Gum Gum Red Rock, maybe take out a Gravity Blade and an Ice Time and put in 2 copies of Gum Gum Red Rock, because I don't really think you need more than like 2 or 3 of them in the deck. But with all that aside, I hope you'll enjoy this video. Check out my other OP14 videos, linked down below. Check out my OP14 pack opening series, which you can also check out. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, hit that like button. It's completely free, you won't regret it. and stay tuned for some more OP14 content coming here very soon.